Just a few weeks ago, NASCAR slammed the door shut on Cletus McFarland. They told him flat out, "No Talladega for you." Fans thought his ride with Richard Childress Racing might be slowing down before it even got going. But then Monday rolled around, and Cletus flipped the whole story on its head. The YouTube star, whose real name is Garrett Mitchell, just got the green light to jump back behind the wheel of that number 33 Chevy. And the plot twist? It came right after he locked in one of the biggest deals of his life. So let's walk through everything that just went down, because this story keeps getting wilder by the week. First, a quick refresher on who we're talking about. Cletus McFarland is 31 years old, and he runs one of the biggest car channels on YouTube. He's pushing close to 5 million subscribers. He built a whole world around his Freedom Factory, his crazy events, and his loud, fun videos that just make people smile. He's a racer, a content creator, and a businessman, all rolled into one. A few months back, he made the jump from YouTube racer to real-deal NASCAR driver. He kicked off 2026 with his Truck Series debut at Daytona in February. Then he signed a multi-race deal with Richard Childress Racing, one of the most famous teams in the sport. That deal puts him in 3 races a year for the next 2 seasons. Big shoes to fill. His first O'Reilly Auto Parts Series race came at Rockingham Speedway on April 4th. And look, it wasn't pretty. He started 35th, spun out a few times, drew the final caution of the day, and spun again in turn 4 with 45 laps to go. He ended up 32nd, 6 laps down. But here's the thing. He kept the car in one piece and finished the race. For a rookie in a tough field, that's actually a win. The plan after Rockingham was simple. Run Talladega next. Big track, big crowd, huge moment. But NASCAR stepped in and said no. Just 3 days after his Rockingham race, Cletus had to tell his 4.7 million YouTube fans that the Talladega race was off the table. NASCAR's John Probst, who runs the racing development side, didn't try to sugarcoat it. He made it clear NASCAR actually likes Cletus. In his words, "We're all huge Cletus fans. We all watch his videos and are certainly very appreciative of everything he's done in our sport and will continue to do in our sport." But then he added the part that stung. "We'd like to see more out of Cletus in the short tracks." The reason made sense if you really think about it. Superspeedways like Talladega have cars running in tight packs at nearly 200 miles an hour. One small mistake can wreck 15 cars at once. NASCAR just wasn't ready to gamble on that yet. Steve O'Donnell, the NASCAR president, backed it up. He said Cletus can still earn his way in, but they need to see progress. Speaking on Door Bumper Clear, O'Donnell said, "It's kind of every race, so we go to the next race. We'll see. Obviously, there's some progression we need to see." I applaud our team. It's a tough call. He's a hugely popular driver, but these are the best drivers in the world, and we got to make sure that we got the right guys out there. Cletus took it on the chin. He basically said it is what it is and kept working. Now here's where the story takes a crazy turn. Right after that Talladega denial, Cletus didn't sulk. He signed a massive multi-year endorsement deal with Polaris. Yeah, the power sports and off-road vehicle giant. Polaris is a $3.7 billion company, and they decided Cletus was the guy to team up with. Reed Wilson, the president of Polaris Off-Road Vehicles, said something that really sums it up. "We are big fans of Cletus and the community he has built. We couldn't just watch from the outside. We had to be a part of it. He brings a level of energy, passion, and authenticity that reflects what American motorsports is all about." Cletus matched that energy right back. "I built my community around freedom, horsepower, and having a good time, and Polaris fits that perfectly. They get the people, they get the spirit. Hell yeah, brother, that's what we're all about." So NASCAR closed one door, and Polaris threw open a huge one. That's the kind of week most drivers only dream about. Then came the big news on Monday, April 20th. Cletus hopped on Facebook and Instagram and spilled the beans. He's going racing again, and soon. He'll be back in the number 33 Tommy's Express Car Wash Chevy for Richard Childress Racing on May 30th at Nashville Superspeedway. Here's how he put it in his announcement. "Look out, guys, your boy is going back O'Reilly's Racing on May 30th. I'll be in the number 33 Tommy's Express Car Wash car from RCR out at Nashville Superspeedway, so I want you guys to all come out, see some action. I'm going to be doing a lot of training with RCR, a lot of simulator time. Really looking forward to getting back out on the track in that O'Reilly's car. A lot of power, got to dial in my turning left, so come on out May 30th, Nashville Superspeedway, it's going to be a blast. That line about dialing in his turning left is classic Cletus. Funny, honest, and a little self-aware. RCR confirmed it on X with a fun post. He's back! The Tommy's Express number 33 will be flying like an eagle in Nashville on May 30th with Cletus McFarland behind the wheel. Now let's talk about the track itself, because this matters. Nashville Superspeedway is a 1.3 concrete D-shaped tri-oval in Lebanon, Tennessee. It's not a short track like Rockingham. It's faster, bigger, and way more demanding. This will be Cletus's very first start on an intermediate-style track in the O'Reilly series. Totally new territory for him. The event is the Sports Illustrated Resorts 250, airing at 7:30 p.m. Eastern on the CW, PRN Radio, and Sirius XM. Mark your calendar. Just before the Nashville news, Cletus ran the ARCA race at Kansas. He was running 10th, looking strong, showing real car control. Then his engine blew up. Game over. But instead of getting frustrated, he said this during an in-race interview. Overall, I had a blast. I made 77 laps, that's pretty good. I mean, if I would have blown the motor at 50, I probably would have shed a tear. But I made over 75% of the race, so I'd call it a win. That's the mindset of a guy who's actually learning. Of course, fans had plenty to say. The reactions were all over the place. One fan warned, Nashville is low-key a difficult track for someone inexperienced. Another kept it real but kind. Just like Rockingham, that's going to be a really hard track. I genuinely hope he does well. And then there were the jokes. Our boy did good in Kansas. Make sure the oil lines are tight. But the cheerleaders showed up too. Be like Biff. Do it for Dale. Looking forward to seeing Cletus' improvement. And a simple, hell yeah, brother. That pretty much every Cletus fan has said at some point. Not everyone's on board though. Kyle Busch said straight up a while back that Cletus lacks experience. And honestly, that's fair. The guy has just one Truck Series start at Daytona and one O'Reilly start at Rockingham. He's learning on the fly in front of millions of people. Here's what makes Nashville interesting. NASCAR sees it as the perfect middle ground. Not as wild as Talladega, but a real step up from a short track. If Cletus shows speed and keeps his car clean, the door to bigger tracks might finally crack open. If he struggles, NASCAR might push the pause button again. RCR has some Nashville history too. Kevin Harvick got the number 33's only Nashville win back in April 2010. Scott Wimmer brought RCR its last O'Reilly win at the track in March 2008. Now it's Cletus's turn to try and write his own chapter. His bigger goal hasn't changed either. He still wants to race in the Daytona 500 one day, but he's also said he wants to take his time and develop the right way. Nashville is the next big test, and on May 30th, every NASCAR fan will be watching to see which version of Cletus shows up.